Hi folks, I'm going to use some acrylic on this. I'm going to wet the paper all over. I got off to a bad start. I primed the other side with some gesso, then I wet the surface to paint wetting wet. Of course you can't paint wetting wet on when the paint just stays on the surface. So here we go. We're going to be using my Stay Wet palette. Got a bit of warmth from the sky. That's better. And we'll have a bit more red in there. Just get an interesting sky. Just a bit of cad red. Bit of blue, bit of red. Some dark in there. Oh, a bit of Payne's grey. That'll go nice and dark for a nice cloud. Right, this might be a bit of a disaster. Let's get some red. Some red in here. Just messing about with this at the moment. Right, I'll see how that dries. You can always go over it, being acrylic. Just give it a bit of a stretch. Right, now, got another hake. Put in some background, some bluey grey background. So a bit of red with that. I'm using a Stay Wet palette. I have two of these, well, a big one and this one. And this is a piece of membrane on a piece of wet toweling, so that the water should come through and keep the paint nice and wet. That's what annoys me. These hakes, they lose so many hairs. Better take the fleshy thing off. Otherwise it'll leave a... look at that. Okay, now I didn't go along the River Wandle this week on my bike with my pals because, well, one, we can't be in groups of more than two, so, but the weather was wet and windy, so okay, so let's get close that in a bit. Don't like that. Let's see if we can. It's a very showery day today. Alright, okay, let's get some nice yellow and Payne's grey. Now apparently we're supposed to pronounce the hake as hake. One of my, I don't know if he's a follower or a troll now, of giving me thumbs down. He didn't comment on the painting that he referred that I was using it on, but you can't please everybody, can you? It was a hate to Ron Ranson, it was a hate to me. Let's get a bit of a bank. Let's see what happens. So this is a bit of a prototype. And as this dries, I'm going to thicken the paint, and I might even add to the palette. So let's use a bit of blue. Get some decent summer green in winter. Now we want a bit of shadow in here. Okay, that's a start for that side, and I'll close it in the other side. Just re-clip the paper. I do like these medium hakes, hakes. You say how you like. It's like reading a comment on a blog on YouTube where the person's spelling is atrocious, and then somebody else comes on and adds a comment with all the corrections as if we didn't know. It's hilarious. I love that. Okay. Oh look. I sold a Wandle painting this morning. Been a good week. Got to get some more darks in there. Right, let's get some shadow. There's one bit of the Wandle that I love. It where the river opens up a bit. It's quite shallow, but I'll too wet. Let's use some of these colours that we've got. Got a bit of warm colour in here. Bit of blue and red. I've only got cadmium yellow, cadmium red, ultramarine and Payne's grey. You can do a lot with a very limited palette. It helps you to discover the amount of depth and colours you can get from such a small palette. Three primaries, get lovely dark greens. Pull the hairs out. Let's get some of that in there. Blue, red, yellow. Thickening up a bit now. Shadow. I'll highlight around here with, I'll add some white to the yellow. Oops, got a bit of red in there. But you see, you can easily paint it out very quickly. Let's just move that clip down here. As it dries, I will take this dry brush. Now I'm going to try something that I used to do with oil. An old colleague, late colleague, Laszlo Ritter, quite a famous painter in the UK. Well, I sort of took over the Venice when he was ill, but I wouldn't be as good as him in 10 lifetimes. He was a fantastic artist. Could paint in any style. Did a lot of Venice paintings, and he showed me how to do the water. So we let that go for a minute. What we do, I don't know if I've got enough colours out there. We use just a going to get the colours right for the reflections. So we've got sort of blue coming in here. Now we used to do this in oil and use a lot of fast drying oil, and then you get into the light of the sky. Oh, dirty brush. And just sort of go over as it dries. And I've got a lot of blue in that sky, a blue mauvey colour. And it also shows a bit of movement, but this is not very subtle, I must admit. But I'll let that dry for a bit. Clean the brush, must have keep your brushes clean. And I'm going to, oh there it is, found it. Look at that, the ferrule's disappeared. It's on his last legs really, but a bit like me. Okay, now we can start a bit of nice green. Let's get a good reed green, blue, red, yellow, and start to push up into there. Just a bit of texture in this. Look at that. It's a little bit wet at the moment. Dry brush. You can dry this with the hairdryer if you want to crack on with it, but I want to get some light in that distance, so red and yellow. I'm going to mix some white in with that, I think. Where's my white? So I know acrylic, I do like acrylic done like this, using as watercolour and then just sort of thickening it a bit here and there, and we're painting straight onto raw watercolour paper. Now, If you want some darker blues, just trying to get that, although I'm painting on white paper there, we can just work at that. I'll let it dry off a bit, that'd be better I think. And we'll start just to where's my stipple brush? Right, bit of white. Now that will show or counter change against that dark background. I love stippling it, so it's very easy and it's very quick. You can cover, look, you can't do that with watercolour. Well, you can, but it's much easier with acrylic. Get these nice grasses. Okay, get some darker green. So some red, blue, yellow. Good dark on that side. Hey, look at that. Now we want some darker colour. Shadow area. All about light against dark. Right, let's do some of that on here, on the other side. Let's catch a bit of light. Now put in a bit of the shadow, some red and blue to you. This is where you don't want the white mixing in. Putting the dark in so we can get some counter change. Okay, I quite like that. I'm going to leave that, I think. You can see where I try to get rid of that hair. Look, put some birds over there. Get some nice darks in here. Some dark greens, red, yellow. Just mixing the three primaries. And you should get a good range of dark or light greens. think that's what they call a tertiary colour. It's a mixture of the three primaries. I don't know what I'm talking about. Can put some light back in some of this later. No, I don't really like the sky. But, this is all experimental. Right, I want some dark in there now, in this bit, then we'll go back to that. I might give it a dry, or maybe not. I might even change my mind. I think I will. But let's get some more finish. Try to get rid of any shapes you don't like. Right, now. I'm going to take that further over there. Bit of mauve. That's it, let's close the river in a bit so we don't have so much water to paint. It's not a very, it's not a big river, I think it's a Surrey chalk stream really. It's one of 200 in the world, so it's quite rare and very, very lovely. Right, I want to get that mauvey colour back in here. Light there, then dark behind. And some of these things are obvious, but they sink in over the years. Right, okay, let's get some very light green. I want some, let's have some light there. Touch of the yellow. I will put a bit of filigree in with the trunks because you can do this quite easily with the acrylic. Alright, let's I want to change that. I don't like that. Touch of paint's great. Soften all that. Silence. Look, you get a beautiful green mixing that white with the yellow, cadmium yellow. Alright, let's see if we can do some water. Start going to do some water now. Okay. So it's a dark over here. Let's we'll just get a little bit of that to pinky. It's the easiest way I know how to do that. We'll give more light in that background though. I might alter that sky because I don't like the way it went. So I should have painted straight onto the unprimed paper. Right, I get some of that blue. I'm making this up, I'm not copying anything, they either work or they don't. Right, I'll let that dry off a bit. How are we doing? Right, so I'm going to do something with that sky now. There's a bigger brush. A bit of red in there, I think, a bit of yellow. Not sure I like the yellow, I prefer the orange. Got some nice light on that horizon. Just paint some of that out a little bit. Give that distance. Quite a bit of grain on this paper. It's a Fabriano £130 studio paper. That's why I'm using it, because it's cheap. Well, cheaper. It's relative, isn't it? Well, that's not a bad sky. Sort of wispy. That's better than it was. Now, I'll dry that off, I think. So, take your headphones off. Don't know what's happening there. That's just paint over that. Right, okay, let's get the lights. I need some more whites. So when I finish I can put the lid on this and it will stay wet. I hope. So let's get a nice shake that down a bit. Right, now I just want to I'll put a bit of filigree in. I think I'll use my rigger, so I will have a bit of yellowy, orangey, bluey. See, just catching a little bit of light, and it helps to open up. I'm going to lose the base of those trees. Right, I'll give you a signature. I think it's worth one. Do it in red. No poppies in this one. No poppies in this one. Ooh. Right, I'll put that in the mount. Right. Oh, there we are, quite a jolly little picture. Sorry about the sugar cord there, shaking about. Oh, there we are, River Wandle. Oh, that's a bit even there. Let's put some bit of light in there. That's a bit better. Okay, well I hope you like it, folks. Thanks for watching. I'll get this uploaded now and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.